So everybody, how we doing? My name is Sammy Long, and welcome to a preview video for Lakers Kings. Huge game tomorrow, massive game, a lot of playoff implications. I mean, really, anytime you see teams get together, the rivalry it always gets chippy. It's great. It's always a fun watch, and this one really means a lot. It's gonna feel like a playoff game. I bet here in LA. And it's crazy because the Lakers play the Kings tomorrow in LA. And then next Wednesday, they play in Sacramento. And this is big because the Kings are currently the 7th seed right now, 1.5 games up on the Lakers. And, I mean, this is what you want. If you're the Lakers, all you can ask, you want to be able to play the teams in front of you. You want to have it in your hands. You don't want to have to wait and, oh, I need this result or I need this to happen and this team to beat this team. You want to be able to do it yourself because the Lakers do have the talent to do it to themselves. It's going to be fun, man. The Kings won the previous 2 games. I'm going to get into that a little bit more later. But Kings won the first 2, so the Lakers need these. I mean, they can't afford to go 1-1 because if they do, then the Kings have the tiebreaker. They'll be 3-1 in the series. So 2 ginormous games, not only for the standings, but for tiebreakers, especially with the West being this close. Tiebreakers are going to be huge coming down the stretch, and that's going to be a big deal for who's going to be playing where and who's going to be in the playoff, who's going to be in the play-in, who's going to be hosting the game, all that kind of stuff. So today I'm going to get into the previous matchups. I'm going to get into Sacramento's strengths and weaknesses, and then why I believe Austin Reeves is the key to a victory tomorrow night. So talking about Sacramento's strengths and weaknesses, this is a team, man, that likes to run and gun. They like to get out there to score. They like to score in bunches, and once it gets going, it's hard to stop. They're kind of like a poor man's Warriors from a few years ago. They're not that talented, but they kind of vibe they give off. I mean, this team likes to score. They got shooters everywhere, scorers everywhere. This team is 8th in the NBA actually in points per game, a little over 118. They're also 6th in the NBA in assists per game, coming in a little just under 29. I mean, they have scores. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, the bench, Monk, as I just mentioned, comes off the bench, Chris Duarte, Davion Mitchell, Alex Len, Trey Lyles, all that stuff, man. They and they get contributions from them. I mean, the bench scores for them, and it's a really underrated part of their team. They really don't have a weak link on the roster where you're like, we're not getting scoring from this unit or not. Everyone contributes, and that's why they score so much and so fast, because there's not really a lull in between who's in the game, who's not. Now, weaknesses for them, when you're a superstar offensive team, you might be a bad defensive team, and that's what they are. Their opponents' points per game is actually 22nd. Comes in just under 118. I mean, they don't play a lot of defense, and that's the cost of just jacking up shots all the time. So comes down to it, if the Kings have a huge offensive game, they're scoring in the 120s and 130s, they probably won the game. If the Lakers have a great defensive game, and we're talking about that tomorrow night in the post game, the Lakers probably won the game. The Lakers can do it. The game against OKC was the best defense I've seen all year from the Lakers. I mean, that felt like a playoff game after the first 6 minutes. They were locking down offensively. They were putting a hand in guys' face. They weren't letting any shooters wide open. I saw guys running down the floor, not complaining about fouls. I mean, it was a really good performance because a team that can light it up. Oklahoma City has its size issues, but they're a super talented team. They can score in bunches, kind of like this team, and tons of iso ball guys, and a great performance the other night. We talked about that though on the post game. Heading into the talking about the last 2 matchups. First game, Lakers lost in overtime. I believe 132 to 127, something like that. In the second game, they kind of got the doors blown off. It was 125 to 110. De'Aaron Fox, both games had huge. First game at 37, second game at 28. He always cooks the Lakers. It's sickening because we could have had him. We took Lonzo over him, and we all know how that turned out. So De'Aaron Fox always kind of has that chip on his shoulder whenever he plays the Lakers. So he always goes off. But the first 2 games has been no different. The second game, Sabonis at 29. First game, only had 12. So there wasn't as much of a contribution there. But the real big thing for the Kings this year against the Lakers has been the role players, the unsung heroes. I mean, first game, Malik Monk off the bench at 22 points. Second game, Kevin Huerter, 28 points. Really could not miss. These are the guys that really won those 2 games for them, because we know Fox is going to get his. We know Sabonis is going to get his. But Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk, I mean, these guys became scoring threats, big-time scoring threats in the game the Lakers had a game plan for. This is why, before I get into that, 80, I had the worst game of the season against the Kings last time out. Only had 9 points in 35 minutes. So you're going to be thinking 80 is going to be getting some revenge. 80 can go up and down at times, but 80 does get revenge when he has a bad game. As evidenced the other night, terrible game against the Nuggets, had a big game Monday night against Thunder. So hopefully that continues. Getting into why I think Austin Reeves is the key kind of thing, looking back at the stats, and I remember during the games, the first game in 28 minutes, Reeves only had 5 points against the Kings. Second game, he had 34 minutes, only had 9 points. That's unacceptable. I mean, that can't happen. You know, the Lakers need to do what the Kings do to us. The guys Huerter, Monk, Duarte, guys like that going off. The Lakers role players or supporting cast have to be big time. We saw what happened when D'Lo was going crazy on Monday. Reeves was adding scoring. Torian Prince, 14 off the bench. And when that's happening, because we know LeBron and AD are going to do their thing. They're going to have big games. You're not going to hold them down. Just like Fox and Sabonis, you know, they're going to do their thing. Austin Reeves can't be in the single digits. He needs to be 17, 18, 19 points, low 20s, something like that. That's why I think tomorrow night it's going to come down to Rui, D'Lo, Reeves, Prince, guys like that. Hopefully Max Christie gets some minutes. A guy like him, they need to do what to the Kings what they do to us, essentially. Because if that's happening, especially since they're not a good defensive team and they're scrambling and they're picking up, you know, LeBron and AD and then Rui's having a night, and D'Lo, you know, when it's just LeBron and AD, they're a lot easier to defend. When everyone else hitting shots, the Lakers look unreal. And I think that's because the Lakers play a physical brand of basketball. You know, you see it against the Thunder. They're a finesse team. The Kings, a finesse team. When it's on, and it looks great. But when it gets nitty-gritty and down and dirty, that's when the Lakers excel. The Lakers want to play bully ball. So when they're able to hit shots and hit it a clip like them, they're tough to beat. Lakers are a really tough team to beat, as evidenced in the last 14 games, going 10-4. I'm excited for this game. Obviously, you know, Alan, I keep saying it, every game is huge, but it really is. As in the standings, getting in the standings a little bit around the league tonight. The Nuggets Suns is just finishing up. It was like a 5-point game last time I checked, but around the league, Pacers did the Lakers a huge favor. They went into Dallas and won that game, beat them pretty handily. That's big. I mean, now they're only a game. The Lakers are only a game back from the Mavs. Even if they win tomorrow night, they can't pass them because of a tiebreaker. They lose the tiebreaker right now, Dallas. But you know, closing the gap a little bit. The teams around the Lakers, we mentioned this the other day, have not been playing great basketball. The Mavs, mentioned, lost tonight, lost Sunday against the Sixers. Thumbs up. Tyrese Maxey had even left the game for a little bit. Kelly Oubre had a tough night. The Warriors were on a streak, and everyone's talking about them as title contenders, and then they get beat by 52 to Boston. Phoenix is so hard to figure out. I don't get them because, you know, they look terrible against the Thunder, and then they come all the way back, and then they still choke it. And then last time I checked, they're up on the Nuggets here, so we'll see how the game finishes. But they're tough to tell. And Sacramento the other night, up 19-21 to the Bulls, and you're thinking at home, I mean, this will be a breeze. Look at all the starters and everything. No, Kobe White goes crazy in the fourth quarter, comes back, wins it for the Bulls. Did them a huge favor. And my final thought, I need the Lakers to have energy tomorrow night. There is zero excuse. Monday night, you had a big game, and this is not something that the Lakers typically get to do. They got to rest LeBron AD with 6-7 minutes to go because they had such a big lead. That doesn't normally happen. Usually the Lakers are either losing or they're having some dramatic fashion comeback or they need their stars. It's never usually a game like that. So there is zero excuse for this team to come out at home against a rival who's right in front of you in the standings with energy. We don't need to see, the Lakers were able to withstand it the other night against the Thunder, but the first 6 minutes were not pretty. 6 turnovers in 6 minutes, not okay. We can't have that, and especially against a team like the Kings who can really score fast. I mean, they can build a lead quickly if you give them those opportunities. So no turnovers and high energy. So excited for the games tomorrow night, Laker fans. See you guys in the post game, and hopefully we're celebrating a Lakers victory. So thank you guys. Have a good one.